I'm John Henry. At 18, I started my first company, and within 2 years, I successfully sold that company. Now I'm working with small entrepreneurs to help them navigate the world of building their own businesses.
When you invest in a company, what do you look for? How do you look at deals?
As a venture investor, see, venture capital is very different than other kinds of investing, right?
Yes.
I own real estate. Every month, I get rent checks.
Yes.
You get residuals.
Yes.
If you're in private equity, when you buy cash flowing businesses, like I own a dental practice and a cafe, so every month you get distributions.
That's right.
Right? In venture, you don't make a lick, you don't make shit until the company gets sold.
Yes.
And so it's a very different kind of investing, right? It's higher risk. You get a lot more potential for zeros because everyone's swinging for the fences. But what you do get, you get the opportunity to potentially invest in the company that ends up shaping and the market as a whole.
Correct.
Right? So
Like disruptor could be.
Let's say Gary Vee, for example, he invested in Uber in their Series A round. Uber, as massive as they are, he hasn't made a single dollar off that investment, and he won't until they go public. They're going public this year. They're filing a $120 billion valuation. Gary's gonna make a lot of money, right? So anyway, so what do we look for then? Now that I painted the picture of what venture is, well, we look for, okay, can I get in at a good enough valuation early on so that we don't need a very massive exit to make our money back? If we can invest in a $5 to $10 million valuation, if that company sells at 50 or 100 million,
that's a good return.
We're making our returns.
Yes.
So we look for that. We look for.
They're not looking necessary for a unicorn or anything like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right?
If it happens, it happens. It's great.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
but
we
you're not
want to be
betting
more
on it.
strategic about it. The other thing that I will say that I think will help founders is this is a very like reverse engineer kind of approach, right? Because what we'll say is like, okay, most companies we invest across sectors. Let's say beauty or hemp or legal, let's say. Most companies are being acquired at this valuation when they're making this amount of revenue.
Yes.
Right? So the sweet spot right now is that once you start making 10 million to 20 million in revenue, your likelihood to be acquired for a nice number goes up. So then as seed stage investors, we say, okay, they're making 1 million right now in revenue. What do they have to do to go from 1 to 10?
What can they optimize, right?
Exactly.
What can they refine? Got
And
it.
if we see a clear path and we understand that the founder kind of gets it, then things start looking like we're gonna invest. And that is a glimpse that I've never offered before. This is more the science of venture capital.
Do you also talk to the founders ahead of time? Hey, I know maybe you have big dream, you want to build it to $1 billion company, but really as an investor, we're looking for that sweet spot. When you get to that 10, 20 million, we're gonna sell.
That's a good point. The answer, unfortunately, is no. I don't do that as much as I'd like, because when we're evaluating for investment, we need a founder who's already there.
Got it.
So what I want to do, and what this show and my show helps me do, is actually educate entrepreneurs. So before they go fundraise, they're ready to have that conversation.
Got it.
So content ends up being a really nice play here.
Got it. And then when you invest, what else do you do to add value as a VC? Do you coach them? Do you help them with maybe give them some exposure? Like what do you do to add value?
Yeah, that's a great question. One thing that we do have as a firm is we have a lot of visibility for a venture capital firm. So we have a nice brand that people want to have on their cap table.
Yes.
They want us invested in them.
Yes.
And as our brand grows, we become more marquee. More and more people want that
When
stamp.
people know that you're in, then, right?
Exactly. So we signal the market, right? So our goal is to kind of be the premier diversity focused firm so that we get the best deals in this space. And as you said, the moment we stamp them, then if a founder is raising, let's say $2 million and we write them $1 million check, just because we invested $1 million, our hopes is that other people will flock around and we can fill their rounds out.
Right.
So that's one of the areas. We do a bunch of other like more technical stuff, but I think we're still young as a firm, so we're staying open to, okay, what are gonna be the real areas of value? Because I'll tell you something, it's really easy to have a really good answer on paper.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll add value because we'll do, portfolio management and this and sales and marketing. But then like when you invest and the company says, hey, let's do this.
Right.
You gotta be ready to go.
Right.
So we're taking our time with it.
Are you staying in certain sectors, in certain industries, or you're pretty open to any?
Cross sector.
Okay.
Because remember, only 2% of all venture capital is going to 70% of the population.
Correct.
if we slim it down and get industry specific, we're going to leave so many deals on the table.
That's true. That's
so
true.
we want to be everywhere right now. And then
how many deals on average you're looking on let's say on a monthly basis now?
We're looking to do about one deal a month.
Okay.
So venture capital.
How many deals come across your table?
Last year we saw 378 deals year to date, and we had roughly a 1 to 2% investment rate. So we have to increase that.
Kind
a
of look at
little
100 and then 10 due diligence and then pick one. Right?
Correct. So you know that's the way that the math works out. And venture is funny because the numbers work against you, as you saw.
Yes, that's right.
Until the numbers work for you.
That's right.
Because if you have a big enough portfolio,
That's right.
something's gonna pop.